March 25th, day 2 of Who Knows. Today is National Manatee Appreciation Day.
Hey guys, so we had to come to school today to get the stuff we would need for digital learning, and as I was walking through the buildings, I thought I would kind of send it to you so you could see our school, and I have something very exciting to show you in the classroom. Just hold on one moment. So you guys have been giving me a hard time about my desk, but it's clean.
Alright, guys, it's so good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Think about what day it was for a second. Before we get started on our book, I did want to give some updates. So, for the teachers, we're going to learn how digital learning works on Friday. I'm hoping it's on Friday morning, so that way Friday afternoonish I can make kind of a how-to video on kind of what we're going to expect and how to go through and what our online learning is really going to look like. So be on the lookout for that on Friday. I hope you have enjoyed our read aloud so far. I can't wait to keep going and hear what's going to be today. So let's just go ahead and get started. So remember, we're reading the Great Treehouse War. We're still on the section of a Nothing Special Wednesday. And we still haven't learned out why it's Nothing Special Wednesday. Like, what's happening? As far as Winnie was concerned, the only problem with Wednesdays was that there was only one of them a week, which made it super difficult to figure out how to fill that day up. That Wednesday, for example, Winnie had doodling to do and hot cocoa to make and the world's greatest cat to snuggle. She also had a week's worth of homework to catch up on and tests to study for and an entire book to read for a book report. Whew, she's got a lot of work to do. Not to mention that she really ought to figure out an amazing present for Squeezy's birthday. Yay, Squeezy. The next day, and sort through all her swimsuits to find the perfect one for Lyle's pool party in June. On Nothing Special Wednesdays, Winnie often ended up doing the sorts of things that most kids could do any old day of the week. At first, dividing her days between her parents had worked perfectly. Spending exactly equal time with each parent meant Winnie only had to be around one of them at a time, which was good for everyone, because whenever her parents were in the same room together, they always found some way to drive Winnie crazy. One time, at the Parents' Night concert, Winnie's dad was seated 2 rows further back from the stage than Winnie's mom, and he had made such a stink that Greta's great-grandma finally switched with him. Yeah, Nana's still pretty peeved about that, Greta. So at first, the very sensible plan Winnie's parents had thought up seemed like a total success. I feel like it's not going to be a success. And then, Winnie's mom remembered about Thanksgiving. Before the divorce, no one in Winnie's family had ever cared about most holidays, like Easter or Hanukkah or Dillowin. The only one they celebrated at all was Thanksgiving. Before the divorce, they always had a huge family feast. Winnie's mom would make turkey and cranberries and 4 kinds of potatoes. That's a lot of potatoes. And Winnie's dad would prepare sausage stuffing completely from scratch. Uncle Huck brought his famous blackberry pie, Winnie's favorite dessert on the planet. And they'd spend the day talking and toasting and telling stories and stuffing themselves silly. Back then, Winnie figured that if you were only going to celebrate one holiday a year, Thanksgiving was a good one to pick. So maybe it wouldn't have been too surprising that when Winnie's mom realized she was never going to celebrate Thanksgiving with her daughter again, because of Winnie's dad always having Thursdays, because of Winnie's parents' very sensible plan, she decided to pick a new holiday to celebrate and to make it even better than Thanksgiving. To make Winnie forget all about that silly dinner with your father. Oh, I should have read that in her mom's voice. Hold on, let me get my mom voice ready. To make Winnie forget all about that silly dinner with your father. The holiday Winnie's mom picked was Flag Day. Winnie's mom didn't ask Winnie if she wanted to celebrate Flag Day. Instead, she packed her daughter in the car that Tuesday afternoon and drove her to the local dedication ceremony of the new flag retirement box office for the sheriff's office. Oh, I read that wrong. Let me read that. Drove her to the local dedication ceremony of the new flag retirement box office. Oh, I I read it wrong again. Oh my goodness. Drove her to the local dedication ceremony of the new flag retirement blocks outside the sheriff's office. Whew! The ceremony was about as boring as that last sentence. Isn't this just as fun as Thanksgiving? Her mom asked. Oh, I forgot to use the voice again. Isn't this just as fun as Thanksgiving? Her mom asked her when they were back at the house designing their own flags and sporting silly bonnets like Betsy Ross. Winnie could tell that it was important to her mom that Flag Day be a super incredible holiday. And really, Winnie figured, what did it hurt to lie a little just to make her mom happy? So she told her mom, yeah, Mom, Flag Day is amazing, even better than Thanksgiving. Well, maybe Winnie should have known. Maybe she should have predicted that her mom would call her dad and brag that she'd found a holiday to celebrate with their daughter that was even more stupendous than the one he was stuck with. Maybe Winnie should have figured that once her dad heard the news, he'd devote weeks of his life to research little-known holidays online so that he could one-up Winnie's mom. Maybe Winnie should have imagined that just a few Saturdays later, she'd be spending an evening in her dad's backyard, camping out in sleeping bags, and peering through binoculars for signs of extraterrestrial life. Rad! Osh. To celebrate World UFO Day. And okay, World UFO Day was actually pretty fun. Winnie and her dad snacked on space ice cream and made up their own goofy alien language. They played ultimate UFO frisbee and stayed up late into the evening watching the stars. That does sound pretty fun. Problem was that Winnie's mom saw them celebrating World UFO Day from the window of her den. Winnie would later wonder if her dad had secretly planned on that happening all along. Which of course led Winnie's mom to research more unique holidays of her own. And that's when things really started to get bonkers. Bonkers meaning crazy. Some of the holidays Winnie and her mom celebrated were awesome, like Ice Cream Sandwich Day. Ooh, I can't wait till we hit that one. Some of the holidays were unusual, like Cow Appreciation Day. And some of the holidays were ones Winnie wished she had never, ever heard of. Like Underwear Day. Ew, that is not a real holiday, Greta. Logan, we are totally celebrating Underwear Day next year, Brogan. Winnie did her best to keep the new holidays a secret from her dad. But he found out anyway. Winnie would later wonder if her mom didn't specifically plan a parade for Lasagna Day in order to rub her dad's face in their party. So before long, Winnie was observing even more obscure holidays with her father. Sandcastle Day, Bad Poetry Day, Burger Day. The more holidays her dad found, the more her mom did. The more holidays her mom found, the more her dad did. When Winnie's mom took her to the boardwalk for a blowout roller coaster day bash, Winnie's father responded with a full-on fiesta for Take Your Cat to the Vet Day. Buttons wasn't too excited about that one. By the time Winnie started 5th grade at Tulip Street Elementary, she was celebrating a holiday every day of the week, except, of course, on Wednesdays. And it wasn't that Winnie didn't like holidays, but tossing hundreds of Slinkies down the stairwell over and over for National Slinky Day meant that there was very little time left in Winnie's afternoon to do anything else. Her parents were so focused on making sure that every single day they spent with their daughter was better than any day she spent with her other parent, that Winnie never had a spare second to doodle in her sketchbook, or hang out with her friends, or even finish her homework. I wish my parents forced me to play with Slinkies instead of doing my homework, Joey. Except, of course, on Wednesdays. So that Wednesday, the Nothing Special Wednesday, Winnie did exactly what she wanted. She snagged some supplies from her art station, where there was an easel, tons of paper, and paintbrushes and pipe cleaners, and pretty much every art supply you could think of. Walked by the lounging area with the daybed and the teeny tiny bathroom, and climbed the steps to the 2nd floor loft, where she flopped down on her giant beanbag bed and opened up her sketchbook from Uncle Huck, The book's unlined pages seemed full of possibilities, inviting Winnie to draw any doodle she wanted, or tell any story that popped into her brain. Button scrambled up his cat Jungle Jim to snuggle in beside her, and together they spent that Wednesday afternoon thinking and doodling and staring out the window and really doing nothing special at all. When the sky outside grew dark and the air grew still, Winnie and Buttons tucked themselves under the sofa, the soft, ratty quilt that had once been her baby blanket, and Winnie set the sketchbook full of brand new, nothing special doodles on the nearby shelf. They gazed out the skylight above them, watching the leaves and the stars and the world, keeping each other company in comfortable quiet. Maybe, if Winnie had known what was about to happen, she would have stayed awake a little longer, breathing in the nothing special treehouse smell, listening to the soft chirp of the nothing special crickets outside. But she didn't. So instead, she drifted off into a perfectly lovely, nothing special sleep. And that is where we are going to pause for the day. Oh, I cannot wait to hear what happens. So it seems, I feel like that would be so kind of challenging to live with if both your parents are trying to compete for each other's competition or for their affection. I mean, celebrating a holiday every day, it's got to be exhausting. And I'm thinking about her homework. Like, how is she getting her schoolwork done if all she's doing is celebrating these holidays? It's got to be so challenging. Thank you for listening to our story today. I can't wait to read our next section for you tomorrow. I think that's all I have for today. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for listening today and dealing with my struggling in reading. It's kind of nerve-wracking to read and be recorded at the same time. I will see you tomorrow, though. Bye, guys.